And we're live. Hey guys, I just want to start with some, you can say, announcements. Don't dismiss the value of some of the older videos. I realize that the production quality has really improved over the past few months. But if you go tune back to my channel and some of the first videos I made, they're still valuable in that I covered other nootropics, which I don't talk about too much now. I talked a lot about ZMA. I was looking at the video. I went in depth about Concerta, Ritalin, Wellbutrin. So those older videos, yes, the production quality is weak, but they're very short and they're to the point. And I see odd comments. So the people who binge watch the videos are the ones that actually learn the fastest, and they just speed up the whole nootropic journey. So I'd encourage you, just click the channel and order it, from oldest to newest. And if anything, just look at the most viewed videos. Like the Lion's Mane video was one which really helped build the channel. So that was pretty cool. Otherwise, kind of second thing I wanted to touch on. People on Patreon, like, hit me up because I'm not posting much there. So given that you're giving a donation, like, feel free to ask me questions. Just utilize it because I noticed it's the same 5 to 10 people that are throwing up messages. Otherwise, guys, as you know, I sell residential real estate. I'm looking for agents. If you're an aspiring real estate agent, especially if you're in the States, it's pretty easy to get your license. I'm looking for agents to join my brokerage EXP. So I'm doing some recruiting, and that way I can kind of not only educate your nootropic journey, but we can talk mindset, sales, resilience, being a better you, and overall growth. And otherwise, what else is new, guys? You can see I'm looking pretty thin. I've been on a cutting diet, probably like in a 700 calorie deficit per day. So it's like really cool how fast you can lean out if your body's pretty accustomed to being in a calorie surplus. And otherwise, I want to touch on modafinil a little bit. Modafinil is very strong for resilience, and resilience is something I'm going to touch more on because I've made videos about nootropics to make more money. And basically, a lot of the times that just means more like a better work ethic. It's what nootropics are going to make you work more hours, wake up earlier, and have the be accountable to yourself, have the discipline to move forward. So modafinil is really cool in that it will allow you to like get your teeth kicked in and just continue to persist. But the issue with modafinil is such that you kind of like the pain doesn't hurt enough. Like, for example, I was hoping somebody would show up to an appointment today and they didn't show up. And it actually, like, I got in a bad mood and I just went in a bad, spiral of negative thoughts, which can happen. Whereas with modafinil, that wouldn't happen, which is good in some cases, in that modafinil will help you just get over it faster. But sometimes you need things to hurt a little bit because they make you kind of learn. Like sometimes, and in a lot of cases, we learn more from our failures versus our successes, I'll say. Guys, feel free to just pop in the questions until I'm done like ranting and talking about things which you don't even care about, but what I got here. By the way, guys, I'd highly recommend you get a Mont Blanc pen. Oh my gosh. I got this on eBay for like 97 bucks, maybe a few $100 value. I just want to write all the time. I'm journaling, I'm writing affirmations. It just feels good, right? Like a nice ballpoint one. I don't like the fountain pens because if you write contracts, it can't go through the paper. But wanted to hear back from you guys. Wanted to know more. Should I be doing more live streams, or should I just continue to post? Because I'm getting more content out there and I'm trying to put out 2 videos a week. It's getting a bit challenging with the production quality. I'm trying to obviously get better audio, video, better edits on there. But if you guys still want me to tune into live streams, maybe cut back a bit on the videos, then let me know. And for all you guys, Marshall, you're not here right now, but you're probably going to watch this afterwards. For those of you who've like binge watched stuff and have told me your top 5 videos, like, you are the best. I don't know how I'm gonna show my appreciation, but I do. And yeah, guys, what do you guys got going on? Balance Fox, what is up? I was hoping you were here. Melissa Vidal. Guys, it's good seeing new subscribers up on the channel. We don't have anything for questions, I think, right? Which throw in your questions, guys. Don't mind, just be mindful of the question mark. The question mark is a very important part on the keyboard. So shift / and then I can actually identify them. I got some showdown coming tomorrow. Yeah, speaking of just different nootropics, Tomcat Alley, I would love to say that I would do a review. It tastes absolutely awful. So for those of you that are somewhat familiar with this nootropic and you're planning to go ahead and get it, yeah, don't make the mistake I did. Get it in the capsule form, because this is one of those nootropics. The taste will just, pretty much not. It will not be removed easily. ZMA is great. Thanks for the tip. It's not that effective. I mean, you like to think it's going to help you with sleep and overall, like maybe a little bit of a better ability to build muscle and lose fat. Doesn't do too much, but I mean, it probably works a little bit. I got to go to bed, but want to just throw this out there. Rhodiola 3% solidified tastes like tea. So I put that with water and sugar for a midday slump, fix it, and it tastes great. Very cool. Yeah, a lot of people are mixing nootropics with coffee these days, like the 4 sigmatic lion's mane coffee. That's a thing. But that's also a thing because I think Tim Ferriss and a number of entrepreneurs promote it via their ads. Guys, don't mind just giving this thing a thumbs up. We got 11 people here. That was pretty quick, but hopefully we can get up to like 20, 25. And why am I doing this so late? Because last time I did a live stream at 10 o'clock and it was like no engagement. So I figured why not make it a bit later, because this thing is awfully unpredictable. But it's nice seeing some new names up in here. I'm excited about that. Okay, my owner loves 1P LSD. I don't know anything about that nootropic. It sounds like some sort of scary research chemical. When in doubt, when you're kind of unfamiliar with things, guys, as you know, I preach longevity and health over everything. So I would be a bit skeptical, as you never know what you could be taking, right? Do you have any suggestions for a cutting diet? Because we're on this nootropic channel, the first thing you want to address is what meds are you taking? Because a lot of people are on medication and they don't fully, they're not transparent about it, or they don't want to talk about it, which is cool, but likely that will prevent you from losing weight in a lot of cases, especially for those of you that are taking an SSRI or an antidepressant. It's going to typically make you very hungry, specifically for carbohydrates, carbohydrate cravings. I helped somebody realize they did not need an SSRI, to which they removed the SSRI, and she lost like 40 pounds. She was preparing for a wedding, and normal appetite, felt like her normal self. I'm not saying everybody should get off their SSRI, but there's a journey. So the general suggestions when it comes to cutting diet, don't make the mistake of going too low calorie, and just set yourself up to expect a plateau, that leave room. So for example, let's say if you're 2,500 calories baseline, and yes, unfortunately, I'm somebody who could only give advice with respect to like numbers, calories, because maybe it's a male thing, but we have a tendency to track. So let's say you can drop to like 2,000 calories. When you hit a plateau, then you drop to like 1,800 calories. Then you hit a plateau, then you drop to 1,600. Maybe you can add some cardio. Don't just flat out go to like 1,000 calories a day and exercise your ass off, because hormonally it's going to switch you off. Your leptin's going to really shoot down, which is going to prevent fat loss. It's going to mess up your thyroid as well. And just leave that buffer. And of course, accountability coaching is good, and find some way to get some sort of psychological relief. Not a cheat day. I think a cheat day is the stupidest thing ever. Perhaps a cheat meal, but really just get that down, and that's something which you can look forward to. Because even me on Saturday, I will just binge, but I binge on like low-fat foods. So I hope that's helpful. Jessica Herring, I don't know if you're still here, but I hope you are, because I asked sort of a question which would probably not interest a lot of you. I like Noopept. It makes me colder in a useful way. Speaking of Noopept, I bought the 30 milligrams from Nootropics Depot, the 30 milligram capsules. Geez, like it's strong stuff, man. How can you not be productive without that? For those of you that cannot tell, like Noopept is working, I don't know. I kind of question you guys, because that dose is, yeah. Ethyl modafinil is very good. You should try it if you haven't tried it. It's a lot cleaner and has less side effects. Guys, where are the questions? I understand you guys have comments and such, but I want to see some questions here, because that's what this thing is for, right? Ethyl modafinil is very good. You should try it. It's also a lot cleaner. Also, thoughts on 1P LSD. Yeah, that was just there. So I already responded to that. Yeah, ethyl modafinil, I've heard some good things about. Mark Chris, have you tried Go-To Cola? The answer is yes, and I may do a video on it. I've only tried it 4 or 5 times. I actually don't like the way it makes me feel. You get this sudden, not only like tired, relaxed feeling, but almost like, I don't know, your energy drops. Like usually with l-theanine, they have this ability to nicely relax you, calm you down, but you will still feel physically, mentally energized. Like you can go to the gym, which is why we talk about a pre-workout can have like caffeine, l-theanine in it. But Go-To Cola, you just feel your body kind of shut down almost. Guys, are you getting value out of this? Let me know if it's helpful. Let me know what you wanted me to touch more on. And guys, give it some thumbs if you don't mind. It only takes you a few seconds, but it really helps this thing get out and this channel grow. Just don't mind just clicking that thumbs up button for me. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to eventually try. Fallon's Fox says, Anadeo. Don't worry, guys. I'm getting to you. Anadeo says, what do you do is good. Yonkers, New York in the house. Yeah, Anadeo, I saw your real estate posting. I think that was great. Fallon's Fox says, I'm going to eventually try Tonkat Ali. I'm going to try a combination of Shilajit and Shodan first. Okay, yeah, the mushroom blends are getting more popular. And I think I think really the reason why is because like Piracetam is becoming unavailable and people are opening their mind to other nootropics. Like if we have no Racetams, this whole nootropic game would be completely different. I think that's one thing which separates my channel to other channels is I kind of get a deeper dive into the Racetams, although I think Cortex Labs does a good job covering them as well. But if Racetams are gone, we're going to be really exploring all of the mushrooms, but they're almost like a derivative, you can say, of lion's mane. They just act so similarly, but they're less potent, if that makes sense, right? What is this pharmacist live? Hello. What? What does that comment mean, Lily? I'm trying to go in order of oldest comments to newer ones, but Lily, your comment just shut me up. Like what? Okay, Champagne Bobby says I will binge everything. Let me know what your top 5 videos are. Better yet, make a playlist. I'll appreciate it. But yeah, seriously, guys, tune into the older videos. I didn't realize, but some of them are just like these nice 2 to 3 minute short ones. Watch the old Lion's Mane video. Watch the old Concerta, the one on Alpha GPC, Piracetam, and yeah, appreciate you if you guys check that out and let me know what your thoughts are. Fallon's Fox, have you ever tried Piracetam? I put in a large order to ND and I just tried it out. It would be nice to if I could get Piracetam. I have a few grams left. Okay, yeah, very cool. Fallon's Fox, yeah, for those of you that are on my Patreon, I made a video talking about my big ND order. Like I ordered a lot of stuff and I ordered a lot of stuff for you guys that I just wanted to like review. Go to cola, excuse me, being one of them and so forth. Fallon's Fox, yes, I did try Piracetam on my last order. I think it was back in March. And I didn't even finish the stuff as I didn't really find it too effective. A lot of people take it for memory, generally speaking. It's more so just the inconvenience of it, the small doses with the Racetams. Anything small dose is always just going to be an inconvenience. Taking like 5 milligrams or 10 milligrams of something, and that's kind of what it is. It's a obviously very potent nootropic. But as far as mood, didn't notice a mood uplift. Memory, maybe a little bit of energy, although nothing that I could justify being consistent with it. So in the future, perhaps if I order it, I will get it in capsule forms and just more, because then I can, as you guys know, my house cleaner helps organize my nootropics. I could just add it to one of the Ziploc bags and we are good. Is there a nootropic that, yeah, see, Jessica Herring, were you the same person that asked about the cutting diet? See, this is so common across the channel. I've been so ignorant and stupid to not realize it, but the people who are having trouble losing weight on this channel, you're typically on an SSRI, of which I mentioned earlier, and Jessica's asking for an alternative, right? Which I got to be careful with what I say, guys, because you got to talk to your GP. Nootropics to increase the effects of modafinil. Kelvin, I'm actually making, not my next video. My next video, guys, so you have an idea, is going to be on l-theanine. And then I have one actually talking about nootropics, like a limitless stack. I've made videos on like, what is the limitless nootropic? This is like a limitless stack, or the closest thing I found to it. And modafinil is included in that stack. And just stay tuned, Kelvin, to that video, because the stack is really designed around making modafinil work. Like if you take modafinil out of that stack, the stack is garbage pretty much. Chanel Dougal is in the house. Guys, my sister's here. I don't know if she's still here, but say what up to Chanel. She had a good day. We were on the phones together making calls. Who else is up in here? Champagne Bobby, really appreciate it. Sorry, guys, I'm just scrolling back. Okay. Cupcakes Yum, I'm glad to see you up in here. You asking some really great questions. And yeah, it's nice seeing some newer names on this. I'm just going to go through. Lily, Mark, Chris, Xander, Rada, Fallon's Fox, Anadeo, Champagne, Jessica Herring, Cupcakes Yum, Kelvin, Shaji. Who else we got up in here? Speciosa Saves, all that he had to run. Den 616, I think, had to run. Melissa Vidal just shot out a heart. I don't know what that meant. And then I think she left. But who else is up in here, guys? And are you getting value out of this? Okay, we're gonna get back right into this. So Cupcakes Yum just started to take magnesium and homeopathic medication for stress. Must say I feel great. Thanks for the encouraging words, by the way. Okay, yeah, very cool. I touched on magnesium, just something I use before bed. Some people like praise magnesium. I could be wrong. I think it's, I wouldn't say overrated, but you can say more useful for elder people. Like they seem to really preach magnesium. But some, if you find yourself working close to bedtime and you find it hard to shut down and relax a little bit, that's where magnesium can be somewhat calming. Not everyone though, similar to like CoQ10. Jessica Herring says, is there a nootropic that you could recommend as a replacement to the SSRIs that I'm on? I don't know what you're on, but generally speaking, no, because they really get right into the root of the problem. But pretty much just practice a bit of everything when it comes to like the things. Fortunately now, when it comes to like depression and depressive symptoms, there's so much research done on little things which can help. From things like, you know, going to church, there's studies on that. From things like getting sunlight, from things like having, you know, having a dog, obviously mindfulness meditation. So the first place to start is usually if you're depressed or you're in a depression, you're probably not working that hard. Like just do all that stuff and don't doubt it and don't look for a magic formula, because when you're in a depressed state, that's what we all do. I've been there too. We're looking for the shiny object, and get out of that state and just accept that you're really like not that important. Nobody cares about you, and it's your responsibility really to change your life pretty much. Yes, I really appreciate it. It's awesome. Anadeo says ketogenic diet. Anadeo, you got to join my brokerage, man. If you guys are working at Keller Williams, Remax, Century 21, Home Life, wherever you are, guys, brick and mortar out, online in. So hit me up, EXP, where my EXPers at. Anadeo says ketogenic diet is good for modafinil regimen. Take it from me. I lost 71 pounds. Ketogenic diet, I'm not against it, but do I really doubt how sustainable it is? There's like no studies done on people who followed keto for like 5 years, even like 3-4 years. Or if you find something, then you're welcome to rebuttal and let me know. But ketogenic, generally speaking, gonna work with the obese person. It's gonna be tricky to get somebody who's at like a mid or like leaner level to get them to like a shredded state via ketogenic diet. You could do it, but again, I wouldn't say it's sustainable. And then there's always the argument of, is it healthy? Especially for South Asian people. A lot of people on my channel are out in India, and they're like the ratio of people having diabetes is so bad, and generally just heart health, that essentially you want to be careful and you want to go with diets that are just more practical and something you can stick to, right? I'm by no means against the ketogenic diet. I think everybody should try the ketogenic diet because it will just open your mind so much to how nutrition can affect your overall cognitive performance. Because when I was first tried keto diet, it was 2012, and it was somewhat known, but it wasn't that talked about. I was on like bodybuilding forum, different message forums all the time, and it was like more of a known thing. And your mood is just out of this world, and your ability to fight hunger. So that would be like, keto is kind of the solution for somebody who really has trouble losing weight, because unfortunately, when it comes to carbohydrates, they will lead to an insulin spike. You'll be more hungry for carbohydrates. You got to be really tricky. And if you do have carbohydrates and you're trying to lose weight, it's like you strictly got to stick to the most fibrous carbohydrates that will yield like the least glycemic response, if that makes sense. Is Piracetam, okay, next question, or that wasn't even a question, Anadeo, but I was expecting the question, which I always get, what do you think of the keto diet? So now if somebody brings it up, I can make reference to 18 minutes through this video stream. I'm going to leave this stream up, by the way. If you guys have to run whatever, don't worry, you're not missing out, it's all good. Keto, Fallon's Fox says, I have the 30 milligram Noopept, but I find it's too much, so I put in an order for the 10 milligram caps. The issue with the 10 milligram caps, I finished them so fast. Whereas with this, I can actually notice it's working. I was beginning to doubt the effectiveness of Noopept, maybe thanks to people on this channel telling me it doesn't work. But yeah, Rada, what is up? Is Piracetam stronger than Piracetam? I don't think so, not in my opinion. But I also don't know much about Piracetam, and I think I've tried it, but I'm not sure. You should try. Okay, Kevin Joannick says, Kevin, you should try Kudang tea. Theocrine is completely inspired by this one tea. It's bitter and strong. Is that right? Yeah. I forgot to mention, I also did get some theacrine. So I mean, I've only used it a couple times. I personally am not the biggest fan of the stuff. If you have caffeine and l-theanine, it's just like, what's the point? Especially now that it's summer, everybody's trying to get their six-pack on, and overall, caffeine is going to work better as a thermogenic to lose weight and fight appetite than theacrine will. Theacrine is just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of this, it's like uneasy feeling that it's like something to use if you really don't respond well to caffeine or coffee, in my opinion. But I'm just, the decision to switch from coffee over to caffeine pills is something I'm kind of questioning a bit. I can remember when I was drinking coffee, and it just kind of spices up life. It makes things fun. Coffee has other things besides caffeine in it, which makes it cool. But I don't want to sacrifice white teeth, especially if you're making presentations like myself. Man, like sales jobs, you just got to meet people and you just got to smile. And if anything's gonna sacrifice your smile, then you're gonna you'll notice your bank account will notice it, right? Mark Chris, thoughts on PRL 853? I don't like that nootropic. I actually don't like it. It's there's studies showing it could be good for memory, focus kind of overrated, mood a little bit, but for me, I actually felt bad taking it. I didn't even feel anxiety. I got a little bit of brain fog, so perhaps I could look into that nootropics to that can make PRL 853 work better. Guys, what are your thoughts on this? Usually I have you guys on a webcam a little bit higher, but you guys got me at a different angle now. So I like to think like I'm talking to you one-on-one, like we're having coffee. And guys, you getting value out of this? If you're getting value out of this, then give this thing a like, guys. Don't mind. We got 26 people here and only 10 thumbs. Most of the time we got more thumbs than we have people because people are rotating in and out. On to the next question. I looked at the 5 nootropic blends like Alpha Brain. What do you think uridine has not been? Why do you think uridine has not been consistently placed in all of the big 5, unlike tyrosine? Wow, what a great question. Xander, question of the stream so far. Everyone thumbs up to Xander. I really like that. What he's asking is, of the 5 nootropic blends out there, Alpha Brain, Mind Lab Pro, Qualia Mind, whatever else there is, why do I think uridine is not in there? The reason is because they already have choline, and in most cases, if you're already taking a good choline source like citicoline or also known as CDP choline or alpha GPC, there's no need to have uridine. And when it comes to nootropic blends, obviously as the manufacturers, and it's a business, they're looking at the cost, and uridine is just naturally a more, it's a more expensive nootropic overall. If you were just to go over and look at the sites as far as where you order it, and just in terms of just general, the only reason why they would start to use it is if people notice, like, it's scarce, like, oh, uridine, that's a big deal. Because I think that's the same reason why they have N-acetyl L-tyrosine, because if these foolish people added that instead of L-tyrosine, or I could be wrong. I'm welcome to one of you just telling me I'm straight up wrong that N-acetyl L-tyrosine is better than L-tyrosine, but I don't think I've come across, like, maybe I've come across 1 or 2 people who said that. Fallon's Fox says, yeah, I hate taking small dose nootropics. I'd rather be able to use a lift mode scooper and just dump it on the scale easily. What is a lift mode scooper? I do not know. I heard Tomcat Alley helps people become more aggressive and assertive. Have you noticed this? Ooh, that's pretty encouraging for me to go try it out. I'll pay attention to that. No, but I'll try it on a non-workout day. I think that's how you can properly evaluate that. Because if it's a day when I'm lifting or I do even like intense cardio, I'm just aggressive kind of all day. Not like, physically or anything, but just internally, I'm very ambitious. And to not be productive is it's not going to happen. Let's just say, right? Thanks for all your content, really shedding some light on this topic. Michael's Moose is in the house. What up, Michael's Moose? We have the moose here and we got the fox here. What kind of animals or people we have up in here? Derek's on, Michael's Moose is on, Armin is on, Jessica is on. Okay, cool. Good to see you here, Jessica still. Atrix is on, Pericles is on. Wow, really nice seeing some new people up in here. Let me know, guys, how did you find the channel? You guys are giving me energy right now. Derek says, I just ordered my first batch of nootropics. They arrived today before the scale. They arrived before the scale. You were supposed to, I thought they have the scale. Yeah, I mean, you could go and look at how much of a teaspoon, like, for example, 1/4 of a teaspoon of Bacopa is this many milligrams. You can do that in practicality, but that would just require a lot of effort. But I wouldn't discourage you from doing it. This stuff is, when it comes to particular nootropics, sure, if you're outside of the, if the dose varies by 100 to maybe 200 milligrams, it's not that big of a deal. There's a lot of times when, I think it was like a month straight when I thought I was taking 300 milligrams of lion's mane, but I was taking like 600 milligrams. I mean, like 3 times a day. I mean, yeah, I'm, it's fine at the end of the day, right? Matthew says, I recently had a breakthrough with l-theanine and caffeine stack, and I found it's very effective for sustained focus. Hell yeah. For those of you using a pre-workout, I would encourage you just 2 days a week or maybe 1 day a week, get your pre-workout out and use your caffeine and l-theanine rather than the pre-workout. The crash is like non-existent. You're in a better mood all day. And Fallon's Fox and some others, you guys are brought up good points that caffeine, and it does act longer than you may think. Like you use caffeine, you get the energy, you get the crash, but then you have this like nice sustained focus afterwards. And even now, I use caffeine and l-theanine like 7 hours ago, and I'm more energetic now than I typically would have been. So caffeine and l-theanine, I'm all for that. And it's also neat that they have a product where the dosage is actually reversed. So caffeine and l-theanine typically, like 2 caffeine to 1 L-theanine, like 200 milligrams of caffeine to 100 milligrams of L-theanine. And they have a product where it's like reversed. So it's like 200 milligrams of L-theanine, 100 milligrams of caffeine, right? Wait, no, sorry, I'm mixed up. One of them is 200 milligrams caffeine and 100 milligrams of L-theanine. That's the newer one. And that one is probably more appropriate for those of you that are using caffeine to work out. So just for general productivity, if I'm like here, it's an afternoon and I want some focus, I want to boost in cognition, you could say be in a more resourceful state, specifically get more energy. That's why I would use caffeine. Energy, kind of like that euphoria of turning your logical brain off, which is necessary sometimes because we can be in our head and overcomplicating things. That's when you would use that form. Whereas when you're working out, then 200 milligrams caffeine, 100 milligrams of L-theanine. So that product, I like it so far. I've only used it 4 or 5 times, but I'll be talking more about that because L-theanine, yeah, don't take too much. Or just if you do, just be very conscious and just understand it may result in you kind of working less, being a little bit sedated, you can say. I recently had a breakthrough. How would you rank? Okay. How would I rank L-theanine and caffeine with other nootropics I've tried? Matthew, I made a video. If you've not seen it, it's the main channel on my page, rating nootropics from a scale of 1 to 10. And you cannot really compare them because this is a nootropic generally for energy, which is not really going to help you for cognition. A lot of people on this channel, like if you're like me, you want to be smarter, you want to be more productive, you want to if it's possible, raise your IQ. Caffeine and L-theanine is not really going to do that. It's more of like an execution nootropic, but I'm more fascinated myself in nootropics that can aid learning, nootropics that can help me work more efficiently and just help me to understand things which in a way I typically wouldn't, right? So that's where I like the other nootropics. And then once I kind of understand how to move forward, then I can just write out like my to-do list or what needs doing. And that's the practical way in which I would use caffeine and L-theanine. Or otherwise, the way I would use it is, let's say I have to go out and network and I just need the physical energy boost. That's where it's a great nootropic, whereas the other things like the Racetams, like the adaptogens, maybe not that effective. Wow, that was actually a good answer. I wish I should make a video just touching on that. Armin says, why can't I feel the effects of L-theanine plus caffeine? I already tried to use different milligrams of these. Armin, just be careful. I mean, if you've used different milligrams of these things, then that strikes me like you maybe have caffeine in powder form. Please, nobody even consider doing that. Like never, man. I just think it's a really bad idea. Armin, maybe you're drinking a lot of coffee. Maybe you're just somebody that doesn't it doesn't find themselves too sensitive to nootropics. Guys, we got 26 people up in here. Thanks. That's awesome. Matthew, I've noticed the same thing with ND, caffeine, and L-theanine capsules. Okay, very cool. Yeah, sustained focus is what caffeine and L-theanine is all about. I gave a number of I get pretty good feedback on that one. It's the one thing which is good about caffeine and L-theanine. I mean, it's going to work for everyone except for Armin over here. Armin, sorry about that. You're the odd soul that's not seeing the benefits. But the good news is with you, maybe there's a nootropic which you'll benefit from that we won't, right? I still find it fascinating how like there's 5% or whatever of people who don't respond to creatine. That's just the strangest thing in the world. Or like Phenylpiracetam, for example. Okay, I'm looking at the comments. Fallon's Fox is kind of guided. Armin, wait, is Fallon's Fox a different person than Michael's Moose? Wait. Yo, this doesn't even make sense. I thought you guys were the same person. Guys, this is great. Yeah, keep on bumping with your questions. Okay, Derek says, what is your suggestion For starting dosage for somebody totally new and starting out amounts with Noopept powder and alpha GPC, or my backup plan, Phenylpiracetam and alpha GPC. 75 milligrams to 100 milligrams of Phenylpiracetam with 150 milligrams of alpha GPC. The alpha GPC 3 times a day, Phenylpiracetam once during the day. If you don't notice the Phenylpiracetam working, do not take more the same day. People have this stupid tendency to, like, if something's not working, immediately add more. And then obviously a problem happens. More so just try 75. If you don't respond, wait a couple days, maybe try 100 and then see how you respond. With Phenylpiracetam, it really works well when you're fasted. Like if you wanted to do a 1-day fast, Phenylpiracetam is one of the only nootropics I can think of which can help you really pull it off in a fashion which is gonna, you know, make you want to fast again. Because I've done 1-day fast. I think in my life I've probably done maybe a 1-day fast. I've only done 4 or 5 times, and I just wouldn't do it again. Specifically when I had like binge eating problems, because I used to have really bad binge eating problems. I would eat a lot, I gained like 9 pounds, and I would fast the following day. And I was so stupid, and I'm glad that I'm kind of over that phase, right? So Derek, with respect to Noopept, 10 milligrams 3 times a day. But Derek, you also strike me as somebody, I don't think you've watched enough of my videos. Go on the Noopept video. If you're starved for time, like a lot of us, then just go look at the timestamps, because I tried plugging that in with all my good videos. But watch that video, man. There's a reason why if you search Noopept on YouTube, I think I'm the #1 video it shows up, because I try to explain it in depth. Jessica Herring says, you must not care about me. Oh my gosh, what happened? Am I showing I'm not caring about someone? Jessica says, you must not care about me, but I have plenty of support. I believe that informing myself is how I improve my situation. I don't need or want you to rescue me, but thanks for reminding me. Okay, cool. Well, glad you got some value out of that comment. I try to do my best just to help you. And that is weight loss is tricky. And a lot of people just try for a really long time and they don't get it. And then suddenly they have a breakthrough, right? It's kind of a test of your persistence, and just find ways to make it easier, right? Guys, I was there too. I grew up on the chubbier side, as many of you know. And no, I will not show you a picture. Fallon's Fox, appreciate you backing me up there to your extent. Okay, been trying Atrix, don't know what you're talking about. Noopept, what are you? Okay, who else is here? Jacob's here, Xander, Sohail, Narukuni, Pericles, Light, Ryuzaki, Jessica Herring still here, Atrix, Derek. Guys, who else is up in here? Let me know, and give this thing a thumb if you don't mind. What, they have a 2 to 2. Okay, what do you work with? Paracels, Albuquerque. I don't understand the question, if you don't mind. Okay, Noah says going through Adderall withdrawal right now. If you're still here, Noah, Rhodiola Rosea and L-tyrosine, use that 2 to 3 times a day, and you should be in a pretty good spot. Because Adderall withdrawals are such, they can take a really long time. It's going to depend on a few factors: how long you've been taking Adderall for, how much the dosage is, and just overall your sensitivity to it. So things like your age come into play, your general immune system come into play, all that stuff. So depending on you, just know it's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. And good on you, because it takes discipline. Akshay says, why I feel nausea after taking caffeine, even if I take it in less amount. Actually, that could be due to some electrolyte imbalance. I would question you to say, what's your water intake like? Drink more water. As you know, caffeine is a diuretic, which is one reason why you will look leaner in a lot of cases when you take caffeine. And it can do some funny things like just make you more vascular. So drink more water. Have a little bit of sea salt, like I talked about in my latest video, which you maybe have seen, maybe not. Just have some sea salt if you're ever in question, and that could help you out. Or there's actually supplements out there that are electrolytes. I think this could fix that for you, but let me know. Pericles, have you made a review on Ritalin? Probably not another one. I made an old review on it, and it was so short and like sweet, and it was 3 minutes long, but it was actually quite, I think it pretty much summarized it. I don't want to drag on a video and make a video 10 minutes long if it doesn't have to be, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do right now, if you promise to watch it, I'm going to find the link for you. Yeah, guys, check this out. If you're considering Adderall, Concerta, like Ritalin is just a no-brainer. It's softer. You get the mood boost. You feel like your normal self. So I just put that video there. You'll probably find that helpful. And then just some of the older videos, they kind of talk more about the contrast between Ritalin, Concerta, a little bit about Vyvanse. And didn't talk too much about Adderall. I've never tried Adderall. I have no plans on trying Adderall, and I don't recommend it. As you know, with nootropics, I don't recommend anything. Just talk to your GP, right? Can you make a review? I have urinary issues with small doses of caffeine. Wow, this has turned into a caffeine thing. Oh my gosh. Help. I don't know what to say. I don't even know what that means. Is 2 to 2 L-theanine and caffeine good? Yo, Akshay, mathematically, 2 to 2 is the same thing as 1 to 1, right? So, but that's a cute comment. Is 2 to 2 L-theanine and caffeine good? Yeah, 1 to 1 is good. You can give that a shot. Fallon's Fox says, one guy in the Nootropic subreddit says that Tonkat Ali was similar to Modafinil. Any thoughts? No, maybe just in terms of what they're experiencing with respect to mood, because Modafinil has that slight, mood uplifting effect. But no, like Modafinil is going to keep you alert. It's going to keep you awake. Tonkat Ali is not going to do that, or at least with me anyway. When I use this stuff close to bed, I'm still fine, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'll take it after this thing, and I can let you guys know how it goes. Tonkat Ali. Got into nootropics on Reddit and just saw you by searching on Google. I feel like you're about to blow up soon in the nootropic scene. Well, the nootropic scene has to blow up first, right? Until now, guys, let's just get an advantage and don't be afraid to invest in yourself, guys. Like, I was reading The Slight Edge today, and it's like failure, failure, success, failure, success, failure, success. And then you get, people just give up. If nootropics don't work for you, don't just dismiss them is my point, because just question. Obviously there's a lot of smart people on this channel. The brand can matter, the dose can matter, and such. Nitin says 7K subs is near. Yahoo. Yeah, that's probably a couple of days away. I think this channel is about to take off in some capacity, or at least it was, because like the past month I have 1,400 subscribers. So mathematically, if we could be at 10,000 subscribers by the end of October, with like pretty damn crazy. But I'm just all about giving value to people. And when I see the watch time on the videos increases, that's the number one sign I'm giving value. If people are getting off my videos after 20%, like I got to change something. So I'm welcome for your feedback, guys. I apologize. I know my last few videos, they were so fast paced, like just kind of all over the place. They could have been more structured and flow, but I got to play with people's attention span. But it was funny. My mom tuned into my last video and she's just like, you are talking so fast, I can't comprehend all this. But hey, if you're in Toronto or you're in like New York, this is just what we are used to, Jacob says, does L-tyrosine work on different receptors from caffeine? No, not necessarily. Well, yeah, in some cases, but you wouldn't even put them really in the same category, Jacob, because caffeine is such there's a reason why L-tyrosine is not going to really keep you up. So I would more so just I would put caffeine in the same, you can say, class of nootropics as something like Ritalin, theacrine, the stuff you get like in green tea, for instance. Scale, Schmale, just trying to be cautious as I just start ordering the powders. Light Ryozaki says, I found your channel through researching about nootropic. What's up, Mike? Your videos are so good. Oh, that's awesome, man. I appreciate that. I was hoping for a channel like this when I got into nootropics, but it all started with somebody telling me to give something a shot, and I took a risk, and look what happened. Can vouch for caffeine and L-theanine pre-workout. I make my own, and those are the ingredients. Is anybody here making your own pre-workout? Because I'm thinking of doing this, and I hear it's actually more affordable and practical than you may think. The issue with that, guys, if you want some pre-workout 101, yes, you want nootropics and focus enhancers that are going to aid your workout, but you also want some calories and some amino acids that are going to aid your recovery, so your ability to build muscle. For example, we have caffeine, L-theanine. Sure, that's good on like the stimulant side, but what about overall power output? That's when different things come into play, like vitamin B. They're loaded with vitamin B. There's beta-alanine. There's citrulline malate. Those are common ingredients. There's other stuff too, right? So you never know what could cause it. And BCAAs. Jessica Herring says, okay, I'm gonna skip that. 7-Eleven coffee is the best coffee I've ever had. Best taste for black coffee and so strong. Really? Jacob says, I've never tried Modafinil, but if you drink 10 to 15 sips of coffee every hour all day, I get similar effects to Modafinil that you have said occur. Jacob, you kind of nailed it. That's why there's something obviously different about like a liquid form of caffeine versus taking the capsules like I have. And what so is even like a nice strong green tea, it'll happen. Is it the same as modafinil? Nah, modafinil does a little bit more for the mood, and just overall, you can almost, or like what it does, Jacob, is it gives you like that reward feeling. You're very easily able to see the reward of doing a particular behavior with modafinil. It's just very simple. Like, do this, I will get this reward. You kind of embrace that, and that just goal-oriented behavior, if you know what I mean. It's really up with modafinil. And Jacob, that works. It works, but when you use modafinil enough, you understand that this stuff just really prolongs that your work rate. You work more hours, and guys, it just pick up next time you use modafinil. And again, I'm not recommending it. Don't take modafinil. You aren't allowed to take modafinil. Next time you're using modafinil, just periodically, just try writing something down. Like if you got to write something like your grocery list or your to-do list, and like just notice how fast you write, and your like simple things like your eye fixations, you're so zoned in. And that's the reason why I talk about it. Like, you read faster with modafinil. I wouldn't say you can process things better and it's good for learning retention. You're a faster reader, faster with that. It can be good for like text communication, but that's why it's a challenge when it comes to phone calls. And as I mentioned in my videos, being a good listener, all that stuff. Paracils, guys, just feel free to correct me if I'm saying your name wrong. We're in Toronto, and there's like 40 different nations here, different colors, different accents. So I like to think I'm pretty good with saying people's names, but I'm sure that I'm getting a lot of people's names wrong here. Paracils Albuquerque says, I'm a Brazilian adult with ADHD. I was researching about modafinil and nootropics to improve the focus, laws, and economic student. You changed my life. Oh my gosh, really? Wow. I changed your life. Well, you changed your life by finding this channel. So kudos on you to being open-minded in the first place. So Hale, how do I cannot get into that in this video. I'm not even gonna even touch on what you said on that comment. Find this very valuable. Okay, good. Best Nootropics channel. Okay, good. Let's get some questions. What were your thoughts on ethyl modafinil? I don't know enough about it, just because there's different forms of modafinil, like and I don't really like see the need. Any different form of modafinil I have tried to date has been a weaker form. They can help in other ways. Like modafinil is a little bit too much on the alertness, wakefulness side, but as far as just coming down to like focus and work ethic, I'm not convinced until I hear enough people say this form is better than modafinil. Then I may look into it, because again, not everything is like accessible, as you know, right? Noopept tech. All I know is that, okay, Noopept took me off stimulants, Ritalin, and Adderall separate times. They made me quite withdrawn. Oh, that's really cool. Okay, that's something to, with respect to people getting off Adderall, which is how a lot of people find my channel. Guys, I made a video for those of you who talk Adderall, prior users, on how to overcome Adderall withdrawals. Watch that video. A lot of people found it really helpful. So, Anadeo is saying to potentially add Noopept to that stack. In that, yeah, in theory, it's good because it does help with like the focus productivity side. But with Noopept, you can't take it, 30 days of the month. It's strong stuff and it builds a tolerance. Whereas the other nootropics that I discussed in that video are like kind of, you can have it in your stack in a more sustainable type of fashion. Entertaining Lakshya Dalal says, hi, what is up? Been on ashwagandha for about 3 weeks, 600 milligrams once in the AM after 4 days at 300 milligrams. I find it usually has the best effect several hours after taking it. Before it kicks in, if I find myself highly irritable, should I stop? Is my dose too high? King Nolan, 3 hours after, 3 hours after what? I don't mind, or several hours after what? Don't mind, King Nolan. I'm trying to understand your question. Yeah, sentence structure is important. I apologize. Sorry, I don't mean to sound rude, but don't mind just making it a little bit more readable. And thanks again, Mike. I go to check your other vids on Noopept, and also it's a bit late for me. Have a great night. Cool, Derek. Good to have you up in here, guys. Who else is up in here that's a new subscriber? I want to hear how you found my channel, and I appreciate you guys being here. And guys, more feedback. If you guys want me to do these live streams more, hey, I'm all for it. We'll just find a time to get it done and get it out there, and I'll potentially, keep them on this stream, and people can get keep it on my channel and people can get value. How does reading on Noopept Will you subscribe to my channel? Entertaining the law? No, because you can't just come on somebody's channel and say that. Perhaps if you just, you know, say something nice first. How does reading on modafinil compare to Noopept from your experience? You know, Noopept just not that powerful overall when it comes to reading, retaining information, which is why on my video, which I mentioned nootropics for studying and learning, I didn't talk about Noopept for a reason, because I want to be real with you. Guys, I want to be real with you and tell you like what works for me. I try to avoid the things about theory and then nootropics that I haven't tried, like Alpha Brain, for example. We just went over the ingredients. I've never tried Noopept really during any time when I was involved in any like intense learning, studying course that I was just investigating that way. And Noopept is more of like an execution thing, kind of like I used the example before when it comes to caffeine and giving you the energy, the productivity. There's some articles that say it does to some extent boost BDNF, but I don't really believe it. It's, if anything, Cmax would be good, because Cmax is like a good balance of what you would get from Noopept in energy and focus, and lion's mane, just in terms of general, you know, willingness and desire to see things with a bit more depth, if that makes sense. Hofeza, hey, I'm from India and most nootropics that you review aren't available here. Oh my gosh, I was waiting for somebody to say that. Somebody wanted me to make an India dedicated nootropics channel. Okay, maybe if my channel is that big, we can find a way to like spin off and make an India dedicated nootropic channel. But that was one reason why, guys, I try to make these live streams late, because I appreciate all you viewers out in Asia. Thanks for supporting me, and know that I appreciate you guys. And yeah, you'll be surprised. We get a lot of, you know, we get a lot of attention on this channel, and good to see that nootropics is a growing trend. Share the stuff with somebody who can find it helpful. Everyone knows somebody who's kind of in a down period of their life, and particular nootropics can maybe help them just get a little bit better, because that's what it's about. If you're in a down state, it's like a 1% increase every day, right? I would love more live stream, but I missed the state. Fallon's Fox, I would say no. Told Kara, let's do Zoom, LOL. I tried doing that with my Patreon, but it was too hard to get people on the time zones that I don't think I'm going to do it again. Damn, Mike, you really pissed off Jessica. Did I really? I don't know. We'll go back. Somebody just go, if you have the time, go back on my live stream and let me know if my comment was a little bit harsh. But I've gotten in arguments on that subject before. Weight loss is tricky, man. I could talk about nootropics, but can I talk about general things like losing fat, getting in shape? There's so many things. Like for a lot of people, it's very simple, like calorie deficit, exercise, do this. But for most people, it's more like they want to know, what do I get when I go to McDonald's? That makes sense. That's what they want to hear. Okay, Jacob S. No, Jessica, if you have questions, you know, I didn't look at your comments because I thought you were talking to Fallon's Fox this whole time. But let me know if you have questions. I'm still here for you. Best nootropic for fine motor skills. Oh, that's Phenylpiracetam. I don't think anything comes close. I new here, found your channel when you two put your video on Wellbutrin on my recommended page. Okay, yeah, very cool. Guys, we haven't talked about Wellbutrin, but I want to address the question when people ask, can I take this nootropic with Wellbutrin, for example? In most cases, I don't mind it, but if it's something which acts as a thermogenic, so speeds up your heart rate, helps you to like burn calories, and anything you'd be uncomfortable taking with working out, I wouldn't take it. Like yohimbine and Wellbutrin, not a chance. Those are like two examples of just uneasiness there altogether. Fallon's Fox, I'm Light says, I'm 21. My life has turned miserably recently, mainly because of my shitty college and the money that has been wasted. I have crippling social anxiety and fear for my life. Holy hell. Yo, man, that's scary, man. I'm relatively smart, but right now I need very strong nootropics to study and feel confident again. I can't stop drowning in guilt and regret without caffeine all day. Wow, pretty powerful. Hey, man, Light, I would get on a call with you. So hit me up through one of the comments and we'll set something up over on Skype or Zoom. Totally down with your interactive stream. Post to my page. Keep them going, Mike. Thanks, Anadale. Modafinil or phenylpiracetam for learning? Modafinil. With phenylpiracetam, the only difference with phenylpiracetam is, let's say you're learning something which is somewhat physical. For example, you're learning how to shoot, like, there's my basketball. If you're learning how to shoot like a free throw, it requires physical energy. That's where phenylpiracetam can more so help you, because you'll just take more free throws and learn as a result. But when it comes to like learning, you know, reading something, learning a language, modafinil wins in all cases, because phenylpiracetam, you're just going to find yourself so jumpy. The other day I took phenylpiracetam. I'm pretty good, actually. I didn't take modafinil. I'm only like last week I took it 2 or 3 times and I just didn't have a good week. So I'm watching out for modafinil lately, or just being careful with it. What was so with phenylpiracetam, like I used it, I think it was yesterday, and I wanted to be on my feet all day, and it just, I had some good experiences, some good conversations, some good leads, but it was, I don't know, it was just uneasiness. And I only took 75 milligrams as well. However, the hours, okay, King Nolan's clarifying his question with respect to ashwagandha. Sorry, I find it takes several hours for its benefits, even though I experienced them quite quickly. The hours leading up to that point, I'm very irritable, somewhat mean or angry. Did I jump in at too high of a dose, or is this maybe a placebo effect? No, King Nolan, that's actually quite possible. A lot of nootropics can elicit this feeling of being more irritable than typically. When I take a break from nootropics, and I don't mean a complete break, I'm always on some, I'm always taking something. But when I'm on less nootropics than typically, I find that like I'm less likely to get irritable. But when you especially add things like the Racetams, in particular adaptogens, you'll find yourself a bit edgy. You'll get in arguments, conflicts more easier, you can say. But that could just be because you're working more. So there's a lot of variables which come into play. King Nolan, I would encourage you just to look at your nutrition. Just take a good deep dive into that. If you're a vegetarian, I would look into just general vitamin B. You may want to supplement with creatine. And increase your intake of healthy fats, like olive oils, really good. Nitin, can you speak Hindi, Mike? No, not yet. I can understand a little through movies, so I'm looking for Hindi movies, guys. I've caught up on like Hrithik Roshan. I've caught up on a lot of movies, but I'm looking for new stuff. If you guys know good movies, Hindi movies, I like suspense. Not so big on comedy, but like Dostana was funny. But suspense. Why no earlier live streams? I missed his answer. Fallon's Fox. Number one, I have a full-time job. Okay, Fallon's Fox is asking why there's no earlier live streams. I have a full-time job. This is not my main thing. I'm in the real estate industry. I'm a real estate agent and I'm a real estate recruiter. I recruit agents. That's going to take up my day for the most part. This channel I can pretty much work on at night. Plus my editors, all my good people who help me out, they're out in the Philippines or Nepal, India. So I'm talking to them in the nighttime. This is kind of like the side hustle, guys. Find your side hustle and have faith in it. Also, lithium orotate is amazing for uplifting mood. Yeah, okay, cool. Fallon's Fox there. Ashwagandha is in my backyard is amazing. That's funny. Jessica needs to know that we new takers are a-holes. Like, really need India-specific video. Oh my gosh, you get this again. Okay, maybe enough hands. I don't know. If I were to make an India-specific nootropic channel, I'll go out to India. One of you get me a ticket, show me around, tell me that I'm in a safe place where I can leave my house at night and just walk around or something. And who knows, maybe I'll end up making a channel, because I wouldn't make an India-specific nootropic or channel or anything yet. Like, I haven't even been to the country. I don't know what nootropics are accessible for you guys. I don't know what kind of stuff you guys are dealing with at the border. So who knows? But maybe. Mike, acetyl L-carnitine has stripped the weight on intermittent fasting. On keto, 100 years ago, there were no fitness clubs. Exercise, while important, isn't the secret to weight loss. Oh yeah, 100%. Wait, you're saying acetyl L-carnitine has some promise in terms of improving energy levels when you're fasted? I don't know. It's not been my experience, guys. Acetyl L-carnitine, I'm probably the only one. Thumbs down. L-carnitine, there was a lot of hype around that for fat loss. Same thing, didn't really notice much. I mean, sure, it can give you a little spike of energy from acetyl L-carnitine, but the only reason it's doing that is because there's calories in it. If you're in a fasted state, even 20 calories is going to make a difference at the end of the day. So you're going to get a little bump of energy, but I'm not understanding kind of why, right? And Animesh, Animesh Tabari says, is there any better modafinil alternative that has similar effect without those headaches? Man, you guys got to go like browse on my video, because there's videos for all this stuff. This is a niche nootropic channel, and I make it even more niche. I have videos on 3 supplements for modafinil. So it's 3 alternatives for modafinil, excuse me. So go check out that video, because it'll answer the question much better. And I want to be respectful of everyone's time here. And is there listening in on Asia. Alex Lim, where are you from? Raji Khan. Okay, Wellbutrin for 2 years. I needed it at the time. I have too much serotonin naturally. Then what you want to do is, I don't know if that was a question, Anadeo, but I'm hoping you watch this later. Just look at the balance pretty much of serotonin and dopamine. That's pretty much what matters. I've never heard somebody say I have too much serotonin naturally, but what that just strikes me is like, this guy's in an incredibly good mood, like blissful, enlightened all the time. Have you tried Tonkat Ali, Gotu? What are your views on Gotu Cola? Guys, yeah, these are kind of repeats from previous questions. So sorry, don't mean to be rude and cut off, but typically when this happens, it means we've extended the duration of the live stream. So tune into the beginning of the video because I did answer that. Guys, I enjoyed you all being here. I didn't expect so much engagement, so many people, and great questions. I'm going to give you all a shout out real quick from the beginning. Fallon's Fox, Den617, Melissa Vidal, Jessica Herring, Speciosa, Mark Chris, Champagne Bobby, Calvin Shaji, Chanel Dougal, my sister, but she left. Calvin Shaji again, Cupcakes Yum, Anadeo was up in here, Rada Sabori, Lily was here. Lily, I think you're the pharmacist. Kevin, Xander Infinite Words, I think you win for the best question. We got Founds Fox, Michael's Moose, Derek P, Matthew, Biso. Good to see some new people up on the channel. Armin Pestano. He has an accent on his name. I love that. Atrix, hope you got value out of answering that, me answering that question. Paracels, Derek P. Akshay Murkar, and then we got a lot of people with the India-related questions at the end of the live stream. I guess go figure. Once you hit midnight, that's when we got the Asia crowd. But I appreciate all you. YouTube SOS, Noah West, Nitin, Jacob S, Sohail, Niruk. This thing is so mood uplifting, man. I should do these more often. You guys are great. Light Ryozaki, Big Papa Penguin, and I think I covered everyone. Buckle Loose, Wally, Sula, man, these are some hard names. My God. Sula Hisanvi. There we go. Alex Lim, Buckle Loose, Wally, Entertaining Lakshay. No, I'm never doing this again. I'm exhausted. King Nolan, Wally, Ryan Gowing, Hofaiza, Fallon's Fox again, Tolsera, sup? You came on late, bro. Light Ruzaki, I think I'm finished with people. But guys, I'm gonna leave this thing on for a couple minutes if you guys want to chat amongst yourself. I appreciate all of you. We'll do this again. Next videos are on l-theanine. I have limitless nootropic stacks. So we go over a specific like nootropic stack that's kind of catered around modafinil. And then I have a really good video coming up on phenybut. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you all soon. Don't forget to share the video. Take care.